What's up guys, Robert Optimal Bodies. Now today I want to give you my top 3 tips on how not to cheat on your diet, or basically how not to eat junk food, because let's be honest, no one's cheating on the diet with broccoli or a potato or I had a glass of orange juice extra. It just doesn't happen. When I check in with clients, I say, how have you got on this week? I very rarely get somebody saying like, oh, I stuck to the plan like 99%, but I just had a little handful of nuts, or I just had one biscuit. It's like, it just doesn't happen. Usually, what is it? I got a pizza, I got fish and chips, I got a Chinese, I ate a full box of donuts, usually just pig out. And that's the thing that got me thinking about what is happening with these sort of foods. So the highly addictive dopamine spike in food, which, go back to previous videos, we've spoke of all the science of that before. So how can we avoid this junk food cheating, basically? Because yeah, it just don't happen. You don't start craving just one little, I had an extra little floret of broccoli or little tree, whatever they're called. It just don't happen. It's this drive, hedonic, addictive nature, pleasure food that we cheat on, or we cheat on with alcohol. So we'll get onto that as well. So big number one, and it's number one because it's probably the most difficult. It might sound very simple and easy for me to say, but it is so powerful as well. And the amount of times I write a client a plan, and one of the first questions is, when do I get my cheat meal? I'm like, oh, you shouldn't even be on that sort of mindset, but I get it because it's so common and people don't think it should last forever the way they're eating, and they should be able to reward themselves and things like that, which can be for another video. But number one tip is cut them out. Sounds simple, but it's like asking somebody who's wanting to stop smoking and then every Saturday night they're allowed a pack of fags. It's like, how long are they going to stay to that? Become Monday morning, do you think they're still going to like not crave those cigarettes? So a lot of times when people do have a cheat meal, it just resets this negative pathway of addiction to this food, rather than if you just took it out. And in this case, it's like abstinence does not make the heart grow fonder. You get through a stage where the longer you cut it out, you just slowly miss it less. Your addiction drops. That withdrawal period starts to drop, like coming off a drug, coming off nicotine, coming off alcohol. So by cutting it out, for, as I just say, try to do as long as you can, and then reassess, see how you feel, drop me a message and we can go from there. But by cutting it out, you're allowing your brain to reset that dopamine system, that threshold, that baseline dopamine will start to rise. The food you are eating will taste really good and you'll look forward to those meals. You won't be waiting all week, just craving for that Saturday and just miserable all week. Saturday comes, yes, get this short-term high, you put on a bit of body fat, next morning you feel groggy and horrible, you might be hungover, and you're back to square one again. So, number one, try cut it out for a long period of time. Set yourself a goal. You might have a holiday coming up in 6 weeks. Think, right, I'll go to my holiday. Do it. You might have the crap, see how you feel. You might have the alcohol, see how you feel, and then reassess. So that's number one. And go back to my video about dopamine and drugs and you'll see why. Treat it as a drug. It might sound extreme, but it's the same chemistry in your brain. What's happening? Okay. Number two, really simple again, but often overlooked. Prep your food the night before or that morning. If you're going to be out for the day, lunch boxes are your best friend. If you've got your food with you and you've gone to the seaside for the day, or you've gone out with family, whatever, if you've got your food with you, you're less likely to jump for that quick, easy, fast food, cheap crap. And also, if you've done number one, you'll be trying to avoid that anyway. So you've got your food with you, that's my food, and as soon as you're hungry, it's like, boom, it's ready, it's there. It's so much simpler. You're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to feel crap the next day. You're not going to put on body fat. You've stuck to your plan, and you're not going to get this hunger, and if you haven't got it with you, hunger will rise, and usually that's going to win. It's just natural in nature. And then if you look around every corner, there's a bloody fish and chip shop, there's a donut stand, there's a little sweet shop. There's always temptation. So it's going to be there and you're going to give in. So have your food with you. And number three, again, really simple, but I see it all the time. Don't buy the crap in the first place. Don't buy the junk. Do not have it in your house. Out of sight is literally out of mind. If I'm sat on the sofa and I know there's a pack of cookies in the cupboard, it's going to be there in the back of my mind, and it just gets just gradually further to the forefront of your mind. And who's going to win? The cookies are going to get demolished, let's be honest. So when you go to the supermarket, or if you live at home with your parents, it could be harder, but you can have that conversation with those. But usually if you're responsible for buying your own food, just don't have it in the house. Set a good example for your kids. A lot of time I get that off clients like, oh, well, we've got to buy all this junk because our little boy or girl or whatever likes it. Then maybe you should be asking other questions, but that could be for another video. Easier said than done, but try to set a good example. If you don't have it in the house, out of sight, out of mind, and you're hungry, and you've only got the good food that's on your plan and the only nutritious food, what are you going to go for? You're less likely to have to get in the car, or say you get winding down for bed, you're less likely to have to get dressed, get some money, get in the car, drive down to the store, to the supermarket, whatever, buy the food. Think about all these little steps give you a chance to give in, to not give in basically, and it makes it harder and harder to actually go off that thing where you might just, this is a good case where it's probably being lazy is better. You're like, oh, I can't be bothered, I'll just sit on the sofa. I'll just grab a block of cheese out the fridge rather than driving down for a full monster family size bag of Doritos or something. So there are my 3 top tips. Any questions, drop us a message. They're easier said than done, especially number 1, just cutting out cheat meals altogether and getting that out your head. But I think the main thing for that is resetting this drug tolerance. Your natural dopamine levels will rise. Your food will start to taste really nice. Same with alcohol. You cut alcohol out, yep, you'll start to crave it, but then it'll drop. You'll start to look at it and not even be bothered by it. Water will taste really nice because you reset your taste buds. So it's all these sort of physiological things that will happen. But I believe it's worth doing. And it's a major factor in actually stopping the cheating in the first place, because you're not staying on that roller coaster, you're not yo-yo dieting, you're not on that addictive train basically. You've just made a conscious lifestyle decision. You've thought, I'm just not even having it, I'm cutting it out, because having it once can send you down the garden path and lead you into that slippery spiral and then you've got to get back out that hole once you're face down in a box of donuts. Easy to do, just because who has 1 donut, you can have 12, okay? Like, subscribe, comment, any questions, drop me a message. Cheers, guys.